Gotham Talk, say something interesting.
I'm trying to figure out what everyone's predicting here. Is the world going to come to an end at exactly 12:01 on New Year's, or is it...
I'll tell you what, lady, I think you should play it safe, not quit your job just yet. Tell you something else. In 2 more nights, this place is going to see the wildest party ever. We're going to be there with the first 100 callers, we're going to make the most noise, and we're going to be the craziest, and if the world comes to an end, well, what the hell? We're all going to be together.
Today, we wrap up our Season's Creepings triple feature with Peter Hyam's 1999 century-capping showdown of good versus evil. The balls are dropping, the pee is exploding, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is once again going toe-to-toe with holiday monsters as we party like it's 1999 and panic like it's Y2K to meet New York's most eligible and evil Beelzebubian bachelor in End of Days. You're listening to How I Met Your Monster, a podcast that explores the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. My name's Zach.
I'm Danny.
And I'm Casey.
And together we dive into the world of horror to find out how filmmakers have introduced us to our favorite monsters time and time again. This is How I Met Your Monster.
Boss, you opened it. We came.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left.
Explorers in further regions of experience. Demons to some, angels to others.
Call you meatloaf!
Surprise, Sydney.
Welcome to How I Met Your Monster, the show where we discuss the introductions to your favorite movie monsters. Today, we're time traveling. It is 1999. It is New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys right now? I'm in 8th grade in 1999.
Right, so it's 1999.
I was 10.
Yeah, it's 7th grade. I'm at my Aunt Linda's house, and we're about to ring in the new year. And I remember this only because it was like, if we're all gonna die, let's all be together. That was I think my family secretly considered that.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I moved a lot, so I don't remember where I was. I don't remember where I was living. But I do remember that I was scared.
Sure.
Yeah, I was
there was
terrified
a
of
real
Y2K.
genuine sense of unknown and uneasiness.
Well, a lot of really weird things scared me when I was a kid. I thought that tampons went up and touched your stomach when you put them in. So when I was at that age. So I was terrified of tampons when I was 10. So,
I mean, that's probably a legit fear for a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they don't go up to your stomach.
They don't know.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Just to clarify.
No.
I was watching No Doubt perform REM's The End of the World on TRL.
Wow. Dang, TRL.
Yeah.
Doom without the gloom. No doubt brings a pep in that step.
Wow.
Right? It was it was a interesting thing. And then nothing happened. Then the ball dropped and nothing happened.
And 24 years later?
Yeah.
About to be 25
here we are.
years later.
Talking about it.
25 years later, here we are talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Uh-huh.
So they said Armageddon was coming with the new millennium. Did it not? I feel like it kind of did. It's just it's been a slow burn, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I don't know, because it was horrible before that too.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever really been good, you know?
Yeah.
That's a
2001 changed some shit.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
And then it just didn't stop sucking.
Damn.
Yeah, but before that, that's people say, oh, let's go back to the good old days where it's men were beating their wives because dinner wasn't ready. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Gays didn't have rights.
Yeah, it's always sucked.
I'm like, oh, I really romanticize the 50s and 60s. It's all right, great.
I wouldn't be able to live.
Maybe read a history book or something. Yeah.
Oh, I love it when people say, oh, I was born in the wrong time. I wish that I lived in the medieval times. Oh, you want to die of cholera and throw your shit buckets into the street? What are you talking about?
Well, that's the only reason I want to go back in time. I want a shit bucket.
Well, they just watch Game of Thrones.
It's just the certain aspects that people are interested in that they want to go back to. Danny, you're probably thinking I want to be in 50s, 60s, movies and music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the style, the fashion, I really
the
like.
fashion,
And
cars
in my
and
brain,
retro.
everything moves a little slower, and there's like a romance to it.
Sure.
But have you guys seen Midnight in Paris?
Mm-mm.
No.
Okay, so I know it's a Woody Allen movie, so I don't know if we're watching those.
Great
anymore.
Great guy.
I won't spoil the movie, but the movie is about a guy who's very he's all about nostalgia, and
it's Owen Wilson, right?
Yeah, it's Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
I really don't want to spoil. It's one of my favorite. I'll say it's my favorite Owen Wilson movie.
Okay.
Very clever, creative little thing, but it is all about yearning for a time that has passed that maybe we didn't live through and only glorifying it. But then like what that means, like basically it's all about like living in the moment. And how actually, if you like took a second, the present actually is pretty beautiful. If you just kind of like pull your head out of the past, pull your head out of your ass. So yeah.
Well, we are not in Paris. We are not in the 50s, the 60s, or the medieval times. We are in 1999, mostly Los Angeles. That was doubling for New York City.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And we're watching End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Gabriel Byrne. This is wrapping up our Season's Creepings triple feature. And it's the new year. And
this movie is a vibe.
So is a vibe.
This movie, it is so mid 90s, late 90s. Like you can tell it's 1999. Like it's got that like 7 fallen stigmata, like that weird like smoky filter and like the dingy stuff going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just love like, because I wrote that too in my notes. I said, this movie is a vibe. It's like the flyovers of the city with like the DJ talking and like something counting down to something. Like I've seen that before. I can't place it exactly. Like Casey, you had some good examples there, like 7. And I mean, Stigmata even had Gabriel Byrne in it. And totally a vibe.
The one, like, I don't know, marker that this movie specifically came out in 1999 was filmmakers in 1999 being obsessed with CGI.
Sure.
We were like plateauing, but it's not like we plateaued at like the best version of digital effects. It was just at this like time where it's, the famous Jeff Goldblum quote from Jurassic Park, just because we could doesn't mean we should.
Sure.
And this movie is very much like that. It encapsulates, I don't want to diss the movie because like they were trying, but it is you could just see like 1999 CGI is such a specific look. And they do not even try a little to like mask it. It is front and center. It's like, look what we can do. Here it is. It's on full display.
Yeah. But I would argue that like it didn't actually bother me at all in this movie because they wouldn't have been able to achieve any of the stuff that they did if they weren't using it.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like the like the devil coming out of the sewer in the beginning with like that like see-through like weird thing, like they wouldn't have been able to do that. The sex scene where they're all like melting into each other, they wouldn't have been able to do that. So like it didn't look great, but I really liked it for what it was, and I they got the point across. Sure. It didn't bother me at all.
I agree, and I do think there's even like kind of a romance to it. Like we're talking about nostalgia and how things were quote unquote better or more desirable in the past, and I think I have, personally speaking, gotten to that point where I kind of I don't romanticize those digital effects, but it is of such a time and place that is so far removed from our time that I'm like, oh, it's like a warm blanket.
Because now you can't even tell. Now half the sets are CG.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like The Mandalorian and all that stuff where they just film on a screen.
Yeah, they're just in front of a green screen the entire time.
Yeah, and I just want to say, I don't want to shit on any of these artists. It's just, I don't know. I loved it at the time because it was exciting to see what movies could do and what technology can do. And then I think it just evolved so quickly that it's, for me at least, just hard to not notice it.
Yeah. Well, Stan Winston and one of his proteges, I think, like designed the big devil at the end that comes out of the church.
Oh, that's cool.
But then they sculpted it and they molded it and whatever, and then made it bigger with visual effects and all that stuff. So like Stan Winston and his company did that, and then they gave it to somebody else to digitize it and make it huge. And
gotcha.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But before we get too far into this, as always, I'd like to remind anybody listening that if you're not subscribed to our show, How I Met Your Monster, on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to your podcasts, make sure to hit that follow so that you never miss cool monsters and fun holiday episodes with Arnold Schwarzenegger, because we seem to do them every year.
It's now what our show is.
And we know the holidays have just passed, are wrapping up because Christmas has passed. But if you're still looking for gifts for anyone or even for yourself, visit shop.fangoria.com and use promo code How I Met Your Monster for 20% off your entire Fangoria purchase. Because Fangoria is really cool, and support them because they had a cool comeback. Fangoria started in 1979. It was a huge magazine. And then I don't know if it was the 90s, late 90s or 2000s, where they kind of went under and then came back a few years ago with a big resurgence and new high quality magazines and a lot of
thanks in big part to its editor-in-chief, Phil Nobile Jr.
Okay. Yeah.
I know that I was reading Fangoria in 2007, 8, and 9 because I would go to the bookstore next to the Skechers store on my breaks and just read them off the rack.
Nice. Yep.
I was poor, so I didn't buy them.
Well, that's what when I was a kid in the bookstore, my mom would be like, we'd go to the mall and my mom would be looking for books and I would go over to the magazines and sit and read Fangoria. So if you are not familiar with Fangoria or you've been thinking about a subscription and you haven't pulled the trigger yet, now's the time. Shop.fangoria.com and use promo code How I Met Your Monster for 20% off. And you will also help support our show, How I Met Your Monster. But okay, it is time to journey back to 1999 to a alcoholic, depressed Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's my favorite Schwarzenegger.
Right?
A little depressed. Soften the sharp edges a little bit. All right, this isn't Commando.
Well, I guess so he had done Batman and Robin. Is that the one he did? Batman and Robin. And then Jingle All the Way. And so he was starting to get this family man comedic kind of thing. And then he had heart surgery. And so he was out for 2 years not doing movies. And this was his first movie back.
I did notice he did have his heart in this role, so that makes sense.
He had his heart in this. Damn you. The eye roll that went with that joke is so funny. I guess there was a lot of back and forth on production people with this movie, like who was going to direct and who was going to star and all that stuff. So it was kind of one of those things that came together, and it didn't do very well. Critics don't really like it. Audiences didn't really like it.
Which is crazy
love it.
because
so it was a great choice naturally for the show.
Yes,
a movie capitalizing on such a big 1999 and Y2K scares and all that's all anyone was talking about. And then you have Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is, I don't know if that was considered prime Schwarzenegger. I feel like maybe late 80s, early 90s is more.
Yeah, late 80s, early 90s was prime, but he was he wasn't getting the stuff that he normally did because he did Batman and then Jingle All the Way. And so it was kind of what's going on with Schwarzenegger? And then he had his surgery. So
back in the driver's seat. Yeah. Weird that people didn't show up for this.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it made money, but it didn't make the money that it should have.
Yeah.
I mean, I had never even heard of it.
Oh,
really?
Man.
So yeah.
I used to watch this all the time.
When you said an action horror movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger called End of Days, I literally was thinking about the Terminator. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting
that's the
End of Days. I was
to one of the
expecting
sequels.
I was expecting an apocalyptic, you know what I mean? End of Days. I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense.
I mean, yeah. It's like trying to prevent an apocalyptic event.
You're right. I get it now.
I should clarify too that we had mentioned we're going back in time to 1999. I'm always would be remiss for things if you've listened to our show. And in this episode, I would be remiss to not mention the fact that the reason, the way that we are able to go back in time to 1999 is with the director himself, Peter Hyams, who learned the art of time travel from his Jean-Claude Van Damme directed movie Time Cop. So thank you, Peter.
Oh my God, I love Time Cop.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Peter Hyams, who did this just before End of Days, he did The Relic, right? Which we had have mentioned before that sometimes we used to get that mixed up with Mimic.
Yes,
because they came out around the same time. Word on the street, I do not have anything to back this up. It's just something that I heard in a video on YouTube, so I don't know. Word on the street is that Guillermo del Toro was in talks to direct End of Days.
Oh.
And it didn't happen. But
then you wouldn't have liked it.
But then I wouldn't have liked it. That's right. Guillermo, like, I love you as a person and a filmmaker. We'll move on. But he also did Sudden Death. Peter Hyams also did Sudden Death with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And I think Sudden Death and Time Cop might be two of my all-time favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
Literally, I was thinking the same thing. Those were the two Jean-Claude Van Damme movies that I watched the most as a kid. Because what else were like there was also Double
Impact.
Double Impact was maybe the big one that I watched. Because I love that he had a twin.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many good Jean-Claude Van Damme movies. Like Bloodsport and Kickboxer and all those. But
Peter Hyams also directed a movie that we really desperately needed. It was the sequel to 2001, titled 2010 or 2010.
The Year We Make Contact
with Roy Scheider.
Yep. What? Yeah, 2001: A Space Odyssey has a sequel called 2010: The Year We Make Contact, directed by Peter Hyams, who directed this movie, End of Days. Okay. But End of Days was also written by Andrew Marlowe, who wrote Hollow Man and Air Force One.
Air Force One is a good one, and Hollow Man, very fun.
Yeah, but he at the point of this movie, he had not written Hollow Man yet. It was just he only had Air Force One under his belt. So, so a cool team behind this. I think it works. I know it's not a perfect movie by any means. It's got a lot of flaws, but I'm very quick to overlook them, and I thoroughly enjoy this movie.
I'm so glad you you chose this movie for the podcast. I had so much fun.
Oh, good.
I mean, literally, I was laughing and just some of my notes were just this is great. There was nothing of value to my what I was saying.
Sure.
So
Casey, what about you? Did you enjoy it?
I did. I was having a hard time staying awake, but I liked it, and I think that if I watched it again, I would really love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. So, but okay, let's talk about the monster. Let's head to New York City, circa 1999. Circa. It's like a circus out there.
Circa.
Well, actually, before we even get to New York, we got to take got a lot of time traveling. We're going to the 70s.
1979, the Vatican City. That's right. Okay, let's start there. Let's head to Rome. Okay, so for End of Days, in our official reveal count, we have 11 reveals with a handful of honorable mentions. Let's see. But to start us off, this was my pick for our triple feature, Season's Creepings. So I'm actually going to read two synopsises because they're a little different. God. One's from IMDb and the second is from Amazon. So IMDb states, at the end of the century, Satan visits New York in search of a bride. It's up to an ex-cop who now runs an elite security outfit to stop him. Okay, so Satan visits New York just sounds funny.
Yeah, he's just on a trip.
He's just on a trip.
Yeah, he's a jet setter.
I get like in search of a bride, like he knows who, not really his bride. He just wants to
like
have a fucking baby. Yeah, it sounds like a rom-com.
He's from hell, but he's having a hell of a time finding love.
That's so good. Okay, and then the synopsis from Amazon is funny to me. Again, when Satan visits New York City in search of a bride. When Satan visits New York City in search of a bride that will allow him to escape eternal banishment, it's up to an alcoholic security guard to rescue a beautiful young woman from damnation. I think that's a little misleading because I think he was a little more than a security guard.
That's giving like Princess Bride is what that makes me feel
hilarious.
Like. You know what I mean?
Or like when you say security guard, I think of like Chris Farley in Wayne's World.
Yeah.
When a down on his luck knucklehead runs into Satan. And like, well, yeah, what is the visiting? Like when Satan like on his I don't know, quest to destroy the world, like I don't know, like give it some punch.
On Prime, when I went to rent it, it said Satan in parentheses Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I thought Arnold was Satan for a moment.
Spoiler alert. Arnold does play Satan for like
for
3.5 seconds in this movie. Yeah. So maybe they were like, it had such an impact on whoever wrote that synopsis. Yeah. They're like, I gotta lead with this.
They like just they like fell asleep. They were supposed to like watch the movie in order to write their synopsis, and they fell asleep and they woke up at the end and they're like, Arnold is possessed by Satan.
Oh, Arnie's been Satan. Okay.
Okay, so let's get into this. We're starting off in Vatican City, Rome, 1979. The stars have aligned. There's like this thing in the sky, and they're like, this is when
the eye of God.
The eye of God. This is when a baby's going to be born to like that Satan is going to.
Yeah, not the Antichrist. I thought this was the Antichrist. It is
one who will birth the Antichrist.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many rules.
And then it jumps to New York City, same time, as you said, like 20 minutes later or something like that. And a baby is being born in a hospital, and the nurse takes the baby away, and that's not what happens. But she takes it to
they do clean them at some point, don't they?
Yeah, but it's all right there.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought maybe if they went to a different room, but she got in the elevator. I'm like, man, she's going really far away to wash this baby. They don't have a sink up there.
Yeah, it's not wrapped in anything. It's just fucking naked. And like,
she gets like, get the baby
nobody
out.
In the elevator like stops her and is like, where are you going with that baby?
Yeah, I was gonna say she could have faked it and been like, there's something wrong, but I guess everyone else would have had to been in on it too for that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I know this was 1979 and whatever, but like when Indy was born, there's like 6 nurses that are doing all kinds of things to your baby, like right out of the gate, right off the bat. They swarm the baby, and there's like a bunch of stuff going on. So for one lady to just take it away in an elevator is like so funny to
me. I did want to point out that, have you guys ever read the Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett novel, now Amazon Prime series, Good Omens?
I have not.
Let me ask you a question, Danny. Do you think I've read a novel?
Oh, Casey.
Why would I not think you've read a novel?
I don't fucking read.
You're intelligent.
I know. Isn't it weird?
You might like this. It's basically this premise, but it's played more for it's more of a dark comedy.
I've watched some of the show.
Okay. Yeah, it's very good. Zach, are you familiar with it?
I'm familiar with the show, like the premise of the show. I've never watched it, but
so when this movie started, I was like, I have read books before. It's like a early Good Omens, like it's like a part of what Good Omens is. We're like, but in that one, obviously, it's the Antichrist is being born, and then everyone, all these different factions, like the Catholic Church, heaven and hell, like all these demons and angels, they're all kind of converging to be like, we need to deal with this Antichrist situation. And they all kind of battle each other to get to the Antichrist to make sure that he brings about Armageddon. It's actually a really good premise. The idea is that there's a demon and an angel who are assigned to work together despite being from heaven and hell. And they're like, your job is to just kind of manage the situation. Like, just watch over and just make sure that it's not about evil or good, but the Antichrist has to bring about Armageddon. Like, that is what it's meant to be. But the angel and the demon become friends after living together for like, you know, however many thousands, millions of years. And they decide that they kind of like it on Earth. So they're like, what if we don't let Armageddon happen? And it creates like a bunch of hijinks. Very cute. But it's basically this movie. But
okay.
But Arnold is the angel and the demon as one.
Okay. Yeah, Arnold's got some personal demons going on in this movie.
Yeah, his kid's dead. I bet he was a bad father in this movie too.
Jesus, Casey.
Yeah, this is. If you've been listening to the show, last year our holiday movie was Jingle All the Way, and it is another Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he is having a different type of familial issue, I would say. This one's a little darker.
Yeah. What if the dudes that broke in to kill his family in this movie was just like Myron Larrabee and like his cronies and like Buster,
the Turbo Man doll.
Booster, fucking Booster from
Buster
from Jingle All the Way. But no, okay. So the baby, she takes the baby down into this room in the fucking bottom of the hospital, and this is our first.
What?
It's called a basement.
She said the bottom of the hospital.
It's a sterile room in the warehouse from Kronos. This is our first honorable mention. We see this group of people led by a doctor played by Udo Kier, who always plays like he's always got cool roles.
He's always that character.
Yeah. But they do this like ritual on the baby with like a snake, and they like kill the snake and put the blood on its lips, and just fucking poor little baby. I felt so bad for
it's
the
pretty
baby.
Cool, though.
In that scene, if you watch it, the way they cut it together, anytime something drips on the baby, it's clearly like water, but they cut so quickly that nothing is getting on the actor. The baby.
The baby's an actor, but there were also shots where you could tell the baby's not real.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So they like cut together like with the plastic baby just going like this. And then in the next scene, it's like clearly like a fleshy moving baby. And then it's like this again.
What is that? Is that Clint Eastwood movie?
American Sniper.
With the fucking fake baby.
God.
Oh my God.
I had never seen the movie, but someone told me about this scene. So I watched it on YouTube. I can't believe that's in a movie.
It's so bad. Casey, do you know what we're talking about?
I've seen American Sniper, but I don't remember.
Yeah, so like I think it's towards the end, and like his character is holding a baby, and it's like wrapped in, it's like swaddled, and he's like holding it, but it's so clearly a baby doll or like a fake baby. It's
wild.
Wow. Yeah, how that made it onto the screen, I do not know.
Wild. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
but very funny.
But let's jump to our first official reveal. We are now in 1999, New York City. The radio DJs are talking over a flyover of the city. And like we talked in the beginning of this episode, it's clearly a vibe. Like this movie is just, it's very cool.
The Y2K scare is very prevalent. It's like reminder after reminder, like, is the world ending?
Yep.
I don't know.
But our first reveal kind of reminded me of like Ghostbusters 2, where they're like, dressed up as construction workers digging in the ground. But these like fires start to spew up from the sewers. It was in New York coming up from the sewers.
From the sewers.
But yeah, the fires are spewing up, and Satan comes out, and he's just like a what?
Casey just texted us a photo of the baby.
I'm really curious. Like, did they not want to put it in the budget or what?
Oh my God, it's not even swaddled. I thought it was like swaddled in like wrapping.
Clearly plastic. You know, they make like really real looking babies that you can buy for like $600.
Dude,
he's holding a dead baby.
It's clearly hard plastic.
I know, that's wild. I can't believe like in my memory, I really thought it was like swaddled in a blanket and you could only see like the cheek or something.
This is so funny.
Oh my God.
It's like so plastic. The baby's arm is just straight out.
You can see like the joint where.
Do you know what I mean?
How did like Clint Eastwood, who's like, a legend and a super good filmmaker. And then you get Bradley Cooper, who's a really good actor and a super good filmmaker.
Oh,
how did they
There's a GIF where he has his finger behind the arm and he's moving the arm.
Oh my God.
To make it look like the baby is real.
Dude. Wow.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
That's so funny.
Okay.
Okay. Back to New York. The fire is spewing from the sewers, and the devil comes out, and he's like, Danny, this is some of that 1999 CGI that you're talking about. He's
flawless. I didn't even notice it.
He's like scene. Clear and going through the thing. And so when he was going through the city and he's like looking, I was like, in my head, I'm like, why does he pick Gabriel Byrne? Like, why? But later in the movie, when the good priests find out that she is like marked, and it's just like she's the one that needs to bring, they do mention that there was a guy who was also marked to be possessed by the devil. So it was always going to be him, like from birth, like he was destined to be possessed on this night by Satan. So
yeah, why not possess like Mabel, the nurse?
Yeah, I don't know.
She lives with Christine
because they can't have a fucking baby. Danny.
Yeah.
Oh,
he can't adopt the Antichrist.
It's like a really tender movie about adoption.
Yeah. Like
this like lesbian couple, and
that one's the devil. But yeah, wait a second. Does oh no, never mind. It's already this happens first, where he gets possessed in the bathroom, which is our second official reveal.
Yeah.
Been there.
He's in the bathroom, and then the devil comes in. They have like a whole moment together in the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's like in Scary Movie 2, and he's like, let me release this demon.
He is really anxious to feel some titties.
Yeah. He
just whips that titty out.
Yep.
And just makes out with that woman.
Yeah.
She liked it.
Zach finished that sentence. She pulls her right out of the what? He just pulls her right out of the...
He pulls her right out of... He might have pulled something else out too, but... dress, Danny. I was going to say dress. He pulls her right out of the dress.
It's so funny not having the sentence ending.
The devil was horny.
Yeah. I mean, it's been like 1,000 years. He's been not getting any.
Cooped up in the hell?
Yeah. And the first thing he does is just grab a boobie.
Inappropriate.
Yeah. Boy, what a wimp that girl's or that lady's.
All he had to do was look at him.
What a wimp that lady's boyfriend or husband or whatever is. He's like trying to stand up to him. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And he just looks at him and he's like, okay, do whatever you want.
Like,
touch my wife's titties. That guy probably isn't giving her any action anymore either.
He's little Cug.
They've probably been married for 25 years.
He's the little Cug.
Yeah, he's a Cug. He's a Cug.
Wait, is every movie from here on out going to have a little Cug? We should point out, okay, if you are listening and you have not joined our watch-alongs, we have coined the phrase "Lil Cug," which is it's a bit of a deep dive reference, but basically it's just pointing out the quote unquote cuck of the movie.
Yes.
In Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where the coin was phrased, it is of course Grandpa, and he's got his little Cug chair. So if we ever reference that, that's if we ever point that out, that's what it's in reference to. So.
Yeah. And if you haven't joined our watch-alongs, make sure to follow us on social media and you'll know all about the watch-alongs and you can come have a good time with us because they are always a blast.
They are.
And we always have a lot of fun. There's games, there's fun movies, there's commentary, and we're meeting lots of new friends. So come
each watch-along
be friends with us.
Bigger and better.
Yes. And we'll find the little Cug in your movie.
Come,
there's a little Cug in all of us.
There's a little Cug in all of us. So that dude's a cuck or a little Cug. And then we're introduced to Jericho, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And his intro was giving me, like, we talk about vibes in this movie. It was very Lethal Weapon right? With the gun, he's about to shoot himself, and then something happens, and he gets distracted, and then we get this big action set piece, which I forgot this whole thing was in this movie, like this big action scene.
Oh, it's the longest chase scene in movie history. I was like, oh, it's still
Have you
happening.
seen John Wick 4?
No.
Oh, I have not seen 4 yet.
I couldn't watch it. I love action movies, but when you're still doing the same thing 45 minutes in, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's too much.
I still need to see 3. I liked 1 and 2 a lot.
I still need to see
3.
2.
I only like 1.
I always saw the first
but
one.
Anyway.
The
chase scene.
But this movie had a lot more action than I remembered it having. Like, I knew it was like an action horror movie, but there was more action-y. It was more action-y than I thought. But
the visual of Arnold Schwarzenegger flying through the city after that guy on the rooftops is like imprinted in my brain. That was one of the, not like funny, like this is dumb, but funny, like I was so entertained.
You were glued.
He's wearing like a long, so he may as well be a superhero. He's literally
no, you know who he is? He is the superhero. He's his kindergarten cop character at the beginning. He's the party pooper. Yes. I'm the party pooper. He looked just like him.
This is where the movie, I was like, oh, this is going to be really fun.
He looks just like him, as in he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger in a long coat. Is that
his outfit? His he had the scruff, he had the stubble, he had the long trench coat and the glasses, and
it was such like
his
action.
Costume, Casey. His costume.
Yeah. Thank you.
It was such action movie logic for, you're in a helicopter. This guy is a shooter on a rooftop surrounded. And of course, like, the thing you do is attach yourself to the cable and have the helicopter swing you toward him to it's just like, who in their right mind's like signing off on this?
Yeah, because in just like 2 minutes into the future in this movie, you will see that when he gets lowered down, he releases more strap and he gets that. So like he could have just jumped on the roof. I don't know why he stopped. And like why he felt he needed to fly.
He started his day rough, gun to the head, like one of those egg blender, like Rocky Balboa cocktail drinks in the morning. It was a rough start. And he was like, I need to pick me up. And they're like, Arnold, just do the swingy thing. We know what you mean. He does this every time he has a bad day.
Do the swingy thing. You need to do the swing. Fly like an eagle. Oh God. That's so funny.
But we do realize that the shooter was not just any shooter.
Yes, he was
a priest.
Thomas Aquarius. Is that what it was? And he, after this big chase, he tells Jericho that the 1,000 years has ended, like shit's going down, the devil's coming back. But then we find out later that the dude didn't have a tongue. He cut out his own tongue. And so people are like, how did he say something to you? And Arnold, who's probably has alcohol on his breath the whole time, Jericho was like, I'm not crazy. And they're like, okay, you've been drinking, whatever.
More movie logic. Like if you had a drink recently, you're probably hallucinating. Like, what is he drinking?
Yeah.
He just drinks like straight, like absinthe.
Yeah.
I did want to point out though, I love how in movies, the beginning of like all of the great murder investigations start with a mysterious matchbook on a corpse.
Yes.
They always like find a matchbooks with like, and that's always like indicative of like where they were recently. It's like, oh, he was at the bar at Red Tavern. It's like, wait, what? I've never like, when does that ever happen? But like so many movies, it always starts with like they dig into the corpse's pocket and find a matchbook.
Yeah,
a very specific matchbook.
And I love that the dude had a wallet on him, but it was just empty. Like, why would he have the wallet?
Yeah, bro, like the writer of this movie could have just put his information in there. Just make it that way, make it easier.
Yeah. Well, I think, there is that one, and this could have been done a totally different way, but like how they find his place is like he goes to the bar and then Arnold has that line where it's like a drunk hangs out at the bar all the time. Like people are going to know where he lives because they carry him home all the time. And it's basically like he said, like, I know from experience because it happens to me all the time. Mm-hmm. But like they could have just done that. They could have just gotten rid of all that.
Yeah,
but it's fun. Yeah. So, and then and through some investigation and things, we learned that there's a girl involved who Arnold I keep saying Arnold. Jericho.
Call him Arnold. I wrote Arnold down. So.
Arnie? Should we call him Arnie?
Yeah.
No.
Schwartz.
The Schwartz. My Schwartz is bigger than yours. Jericho. Let's just go to Jericho. Jericho finds out her name is Christine York.
Played by Robin Tunney.
Yes. Really good actress. I like her.
Where is she?
I don't know. She's in The Craft? Mm-hmm. Okay. Was she also in Empire Records?
Yes. She's like the Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
She shaves her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good. Again, something I heard, which I have nothing to back it up with, so take this with a grain of salt if you want. But I heard that also in talks to star before she came along was Kate Winslet and Liv Tyler.
Oh, I feel like Liv Tyler is maybe the more. Oh, another Empire record.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I just watched The Fellowship yesterday.
Oh, nice.
If you want come and
that means nothing to you.
I want to watch Lord of the Rings again. I do. I like The Fellowship for sure. But so we're introduced to Christine's character. In our next honorable mention, Christine is on the subway and this creepy dude that we've seen a couple times before. He's almost like albino, right?
He is albino, yes. He's not almost like albino. He's albino.
Oh, okay. Well, I shouldn't call albino creepy.
Well,
anyways.
Well, like, I think the character
that's why
is
they
creepy.
cast him. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So the character comes up to her on the subway and he knows her name and she starts to freak out. And then he says that he's going to fuck you. He's like, he's going to fuck you, Christine. Yeah. And he's like all like giggly about it. And she freaks out and then he just like shatters.
Yeah.
Which again, that one, like, I don't mind the CGI in this movie, like you had mentioned, Danny, but that effect I didn't really care for. I was like, okay, it's kind of weird.
Like,
my only note was like, boy, did we love CGI in 1999. Like, it was so I didn't get it. It was like, it actually took me out because I was like, but what is he, like a statue? Like, I don't understand.
But what would a person shattering in front of you look like?
Yeah.
But why shatter?
I don't even know.
That's
why
the
not?
question.
It's a movie about Satan trying to fuck this girl and have a baby.
Well, like you could have like, there's, smoke, or he just like goes up in smoke or something.
Yeah,
but
or like fire.
I think shattering, they just wanted to like do that effect.
I think they wanted someone to like.
Yes, they wanted to use the CGI.
It's broken.
Yeah.
And then a lot of this is just like Arnold kind of discovering biblical like revelations little by little on his journey to find Christine, so he could kind of
didn't notice that his name is Jericho.
He didn't notice his name was Jericho.
I mean,
he didn't know.
Well, I just think that it's a little interesting that there's all this like satanic and biblical stuff, and his name is Jericho, and he's not like, wow, where do I fit into all this?
He's like, this feels relevant.
Yeah. We do get some glimpses into his past at this point where he recognizes this 1,000 years thing. And so he goes into his closet and gets the Bible, and that's where he sees the broken music box. Which, and then it gives it, he has a little scene where he breaks down, which gives us a little insight into Arnold's acting chops, which, he used to be just a muscle man action guy. Here he's starting to push it a little bit. It's not great, but it's definitely a different side of Arnold that we haven't seen. Mm-hmm. And I think now, like, I love Arnold's movies ever since he came back from his political part of his career, and he started making movies again. I think I don't know, like maybe it's just life experience or something, but like I think he does such a good job now in his movies, in like his more dramatic roles.
That's a blind spot for me. I'm going to need to.
I haven't seen any.
Dive into that.
Yeah, check some out. There's some good ones. Even like Escape Plan with Sylvester Stallone, which is just like it's like a fun prison break movie. He's got some really good scenes in that where he pushes his acting chops, and he's pretty good.
All right. Oh, I did want to mention at this point in the movie, we kind of get like the thesis for the movie when Arnold, or oh my God, see, we need to just stick with the name.
Yep.
Jericho meets Father Kovac.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, now I have to believe in God to solve a crime. So now it's like, okay, now we're in it. Now we realize we see him, you know, he's got his demons. He's battling with his faith after his wife and daughter were killed. And now he literally has to overcome these demons to literally save the world and solve the crime. And then in doing so, save the world.
Yeah. And he does, like he mentions that, like, he did believe in God at one point. And then, you know, after he felt like he was wronged by God, then he...
Sounds like you need to renew your faith.
It's like renewing your subscription with a company.
Yeah.
Your renewal
for $29.99 a year, you can renew your faith in God. That's so funny. Right before he meets that priest, we see a little bit into Christine's home life. We see that the nurse from the beginning that took her down into the basement is now like her stepmom. And her doctor is the guy who performed the ritual on her. And so all these people in her life are like there to see that she grows up to fulfill her destiny, right? And it was very like Rosemary's Baby vibe.
Oh yeah, I'm a ding dong. I'm thinking like I completely missed the fact that this is basically Rosemary's Baby.
Sure.
It's literally I don't know what.
I mean, it's very different.
Danny, get your head out of your ass. Jesus.
The idea is the same, but it's very different.
It's like Rosemary's Baby if Mia Farrow had a rocket launcher. Which it's so funny. Like,
that's a great pitch.
It's like, it's an action horror movie, but it starts to lean more towards into the horror. And then until it goes like too horror, then they have to remind you that Arnold's an action star. So like at the end, he like goes into his gun cabinet. He gets all the guns and the grenade launcher.
He literally at one point before he gets his ass kicked, and I'm jumping ahead, but he does, I don't know what you would call it, but it's a thing that I feel like isn't capable. You can't do it as like with human legs, where he like drops down and does like a swipe, like a 360 kick swipe from the ground, and like trips all the people that are surrounding him.
Oh yes,
like a very cartoon, like tornado kick, I guess we'll call it, just to give it a visual.
It looks like he's breakdancing.
Oh, that's funny.
It's a breakdance tornado 360 kick. And it works. Knocks everyone over. I was like, wait, what did I just watch? That's not, you can't do that. It's not how the body works.
For a while, that mob was like, you know, it's just like the typical movie thing where there's a mob of people, but only one person is attacking him at a time.
Yes, yeah.
And then they eventually kind of all work together. Like, oh, we could do this together. It'd be easier.
If we all hit him at the same time, he wouldn't be able to hurt us.
Yeah, we should pace it though.
Well, let's jump into our third reveal. This is where Satan, who is now in the man's body, played by Gabriel Byrne, but we will refer to him as Satan or the devil from now on. He goes and he meets Christine's doctor at the house, and the doctor has been raising this girl, you know, overseeing her as she's like 20 now. And this is the first time like they are meeting face to face. Like he meets Satan. He like opens the door and he's like, "Oh shit, it's you. Like, come on in." And apparently fuck my wife and daughter together. So like
that took a turn quickly.
So he's the little cug. There's a bunch of cugs in this movie.
So many cugs. Ever since we opened the door with our cug talk, they're just popping up like everywhere.
But I love this bit though, because not only is like, I think the visual is cool where they're like melding together.
The society.
We had briefly talked about it. But then I also love that it kind of just blends into Christine's dream. And so you're kind of like, did that happen? Or was that just in her dream? Or like what? I love when movies do that, where it's you kind of like
very Nightmare on Elm Street.
They blend three scenes together and it's like, you don't know what's real and what's not. Yeah, that was cool. That was our third reveal. And we're going to stick with Satan for a while, because now in our next honorable mention, he goes to the hospital to send a message to Thomas Aquarius.
Oh, I think it's Thomas Aquinas.
Aquinas. Yeah, Aquarius. I knew that was wrong. I was like, Aquarius, that's like the age of Aquarius. It's like hair. The age of Aquarius. Aquarius. Have you guys seen Hair?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I did a little.
I like that.
Inappropriate. I feel like it was inappropriate for my age group, but as a kid, when I did theater, we did a whole little season of Hair. So I had to learn all the songs and dances and
interesting.
I just remember being flaxen, waxen, stuff like that.
I like that movie. So Satan goes to visit Thomas. Say it again. Aquinas in the hospital, and in our next honorable mention,
Queen's anus
to get. He goes to get through the door, and there's a security guard there, and he kind of like, the guard's like, "You can't get past me. You'll never get past me." Says one thing about his secrets. He's like, "You can get past me now.
Come on in.
Go ahead.
Come on in." But he like tells the guard that he knows he's a pedophile, and the guard's like, "Oh shit. Okay, come on in."
He's like, "Okay,
you shall pass." But this is now we're in our fourth official reveal. Satan meets Thomas in the hospital, and he's like, "Dude,
poor Thomas."
Thomas has had it rough.
So rough.
He fails.
He's missing a tongue. He's cut off his own tongue.
Yep.
He was a wanted New York City shooter, got pummeled by a flying Arnold Schwarzenegger, gets shot to death, survives, and then we find out here he gets nailed to the ceiling like as though he was crucified.
That part was cool though.
And then we find out he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then the creepy cop kills him.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna go down, at least like Arnold Schwarzenegger took you down, or like the devil took you down.
Yeah.
And then you just get Captain Creep.
Yeah. That is a great scene though, where he's like crucified on the ceiling.
It's creepy. Yeah, some of this gave me Exorcist 3.
Oh, I literally made a note. I was like, this is if Exorcist 3 was an action movie. That's what this is.
Okay. Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And if Exorcist 3 starred Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes. And if Mia Farrow had a rocket launcher. I love that.
This is shaping up to be like an Expendables of devil.
Yeah.
Mia Farrow,
Antichrist
Arnold
movies.
Schwarzenegger.
I mean, it is. Yeah,
pounder.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
The Expendables featuring the devil.
I think this movie works though. I know
it's
going to
I
do well.
agree.
And
this is so much fun. This is one of the most fun movies we've done.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Here's a fun honorable mention. Satan meets the skateboarder.
Yeah, he meets a fan.
He's like, the dude's wearing a Hail Satan t-shirt, and he's like, "I like your shirt." And he's like, the dude's like, "Fuck you," or something. He like skates out into traffic.
He's so petty. He literally he just got out of the hospital killing this guy, like, which is part of like this whole like ritualistic satanic manhunt. Like, I need to kill this guy in a way to like make sure I, maintain this, what do you call it? Prophecy of like me of doom and gloom and taking over the world. And then like 2 seconds later, he's just like, he's just mad that like some kid like told him to fuck off.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. He just like whispers, like, he's like, "Hey kid." And then like he looks and now Christine, we're back with Christine at her apartment, and the guys from the Vatican break in, and you don't know if what they're doing, or she doesn't know what they're doing. And we realize that they're trying to kill her so that she can't fulfill this prophecy with the devil. And
I thought this was a dream sequence.
Oh, okay.
Because just how she like picks up a dresser and like throws it through the window.
And you thought that was her like with her Dream Master power, her Dream Warrior powers.
Yeah.
What would you be in your dreams, Christine?
Yeah,
I would have the strength of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and then she was hiding in the closet and just like starts beating them with a shoe, and I was like, "There's no way this is real."
Yeah,
but it was. Yeah,
it totally was.
Yeah, there are a few Halloween franchise references in this movie. We have the attack in the closet, very Laurie Strode, Halloween 1, and then later we'll get to it, but it's very Cult of Thorn vibes.
Sure, with like the ritual at the end. Yeah. But yeah, she's getting attacked by the Vatican people, and Jericho and his partner Bobby, played by Kevin Pollak, are coming up to Christine's house, and it's a whole thing. They get there right in time, and there's a shootout, and they stop the thing. And so now the police are there, and the devil wants Mabel to bring Christine to him. Yes, but she won't do it because she's like, "Oh, they're going to follow us." And poor Udo Kier has to deliver the message that he's like, "She won't do it. She won't bring him." And fucking Satan just punches him right through the fucking face. See, like moments like that, like make this movie. I think, like, that's so cool. And just like a fun, Satan doesn't take.
Someone
any
was
shit.
like, "We're getting too much plot. Where there's too much downtime. Like, is there any way we do have this effect where someone can be punched through the head?" Like,
yeah. And like the doctor spent like his whole adult life like protecting this girl for the devil and like doing all this stuff and like devoted his life, and then like one thing he doesn't do and the devil's like, "Fuck you,
punch Mabel through the head." Udo Kier's character is the one who's like, he's cutting the snake in the opening. He's like, man, yeah. He should have done like instead of punching him in the face, he should have just like little Nickied him and like put tits on his head or something. He's just like that's how he punches him. He puts tits and then makes like fucking Sasquatch like grope him. I feel like he did punish him already. He literally shunt sex his family. Like,
yeah,
like so much. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's not to say that like maybe his character doesn't deserve all this, but if you're viewing it as like you're on the side of Satan, like everything he's done, it's like, I don't know, doesn't feel deserving.
Yeah. He does him dirty is what you could say. He does him dirty.
Does him very dirty.
But so they're all at this house and Satan's like, "Okay, fine, I'm gonna go get her myself." And he goes and he sees that the cops are outside and he sees Bobby in the van and he's like, "Well, I'll just use my fucking devil pee to like."
When
like
he started
flammable
and they show just like in an action movie where you see like the gasoline trickling toward a car but it's urine. I was like, this is my new favorite movie. Like, this is so funny. The devil's pee is flammable. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, but so like, okay, so he pees, it's going under the van, he's about to blow up Bobby, played by Kevin Pollak. Kevin Pollak's character in this, like I normally I liked him in this, don't get me wrong, like he was good. And he always is like that comic relief because he's really good at that. In this one, I was almost like, "Okay, buddy, like cool it with it." Like everything he said was a joke. And I was like, okay. It's a little
He's
too
like, "I'm
much.
a walking studio note." They're saying it's too dark.
But overall, I always enjoy him. And so to see him blow up was like, oh shit.
And we should point out that this is the official fifth reveal.
Thank you. Yes.
Because he does catch a glimpse of the devil. Right before
at the end
blows him up.
There's like a moment later where he comes back and you're like, "Okay, are you for real? Or did like the devil bring you back? Or
am I remembering the audience seeing you as what might have been Christine's vision of you burning from pea flames?" Catch me up, Bobby.
And we'll find out that the devil can make some deals, and
he sold his soul while he was on fire.
Yeah, he said you'll be surprised what you agree to when you're on fire. Yeah. Oh, poor Bobby. But now when the things blow up and it blows out the windows in the apartment and things are on fire, and Jericho is like, Christine, we got to get out of here. And this is where Mabel shows her true colors to Christine and Jericho in our next honorable mention, where talk about fucking dream warrior powers. How is she so
Arnold's
strong?
Ass. It's so funny. I was like, what are we watching here? Like, kicked his ass. Like,
yeah. Well, because part of me was wondering, like, is she possessed? Does she have something going on? Like, what's happening? But then he just like kills her. He just like throws her on a table and she's like down for the count. And so it's like, okay, no, she's just fucking, would you say mom strength?
Yeah.
Stepmom strength.
Yeah.
But there's like a big fight and they get away. But in so many reveals in this movie. Our sixth official reveal, as Jericho and Christine are running upstairs, they see Satan walk through the door, like come through the flames. And Arnold notices Christine look at him like they know each other.
Into the fire. They should have played that when he walks through the door.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
That'd be a totally different movie.
What is that from?
Dance. It's from James Bond. It's the one.
Come on, Danny. There's only 22 of those movies.
No, there's 25.
Oh,
Jesus.
my bad.
It's the one when it opens up, when it's Roger Moore. He's skiing. It's not Octopussy. It's right before. Oh, it's A View to a Kill.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a James Bond guy, so you could have actually said any movie and I would have been like, oh, cool.
It was
I could have totally made up a name and I would have believed you because I don't even know what the names
A View to
are.
an Octopussy.
Yeah.
8 Views to a Pussy. Starring Roger Moore. And he only wears skis.
Ooh. Like he's naked?
No.
Oh, you mean just as footwear? He's wearing skis the whole time.
The chase scenes are just him like running with skis on.
The chase scenes are him like fucking Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber when he knocks over all the skis because he's wearing his inside. He can't get them off.
When I was watching this movie and he takes off after he gets shot in the beginning and he takes off his bulletproof vest.
Uh-huh.
I thought of, well, what if you would have shot me in the head? That was the risk we were willing to take.
I think about that all the time.
Oh gosh, that's funny. So they escape. Christina and Jericho escape, but now we find out that Marge is in on it. CCH Pounder, the detective, and he shoots them. He does one of those cool, like, gun in the sleeve thing.
He does not, but it's not a good one. It's cool, but he's so obviously reaching for something.
I know. He's like, his hands aren't on his head. They're like, he's like,
all the way back.
What's funny is
reaching
like, because it's very much like, was that in Desperado? Is that what I'm thinking of? When he does like he puts his hands in and then he shoots.
He's got the 2 guns in his sleeves.
Antonio Banderas,
okay.
yeah. But they could have easily faked it in this movie where like just have him putting his hands behind his head and then have the effect. But in the thing, he's clearly like
he's like reaching for
behind
something.
His head. He just has one hand awkwardly trying to reach under his shirt.
Marge is like, what are you doing? Wait.
Yeah,
Jericho,
don't do the sleeve thing. I taught you the sleeve thing.
Well, when he throws the gun out, she's like, throw your gun out. And he's like, he throws it out. I really thought she was going to be like, and the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know you, Jericho. I know you're type.
I wish they did do that. And instead of throwing a second gun, he like throws a grenade. That would have been great. That would have been pure Schwartz.
Then it's like command. Then he comes out in his commando fucking costume. But yeah, he kills Marge and then Satan comes by and just like resurrects her. Mm-hmm. He like tells the other guy, he's like, I don't need you, but you could be useful.
Come on, Pounder. And then we need you.
In our 7th reveal, even though Jericho has already seen Satan walk through the door in the previous reveal, this one is also, we counted it as an official reveal because this is a really important scene where Satan is in Jericho's apartment and they have this big, long discussion about how Satan can bring back his kids and that like God was the one that took him away, but I can bring him back and all this stuff. And he's playing that like real buddy. He's trying to be buddy with him and get him on his side. And yeah, it's just sad. Like I remember like it's just a sad thing. Cause then they actually like show the family getting killed and it's like, oh my God. It's just so it's a lot.
Oh, we should point out before this, fucking Jericho talks with Father Kovac, who kind of explains what is happening and how like it's not 666, it's actually upside down, it's 999, and that's why it's the end of, you know, like the start of the new millennium is the start of the end of the world. And also that Jericho must be pure of heart to protect her. So he needs to face his own demons before he can fight the real demons. And then that's when he meets. So I just wanted to point that out really quickly.
Oh no, that's great. I overlooked that scene because Christine then stays with Father Kovac, and there's even a thing where like Jericho's like, you can be with him and his faith, or you can be with me and my guns. Like, which one do you want to do? Because like I'm going to take this guy down with bullets, and he's like, it's not going to work. And then
the priest is like, I can also turn blood into wine. So we can also have a party. It is New Year's Eve.
You can stay here. We could just chill. We could chill out in this basement. No one's going to find us. Then we get to the Jericho and Satan scene in the apartment. And Jericho, he stands strong. He's like, I'm not going to fucking be on your side. Satan throws him out a fucking window. And dude, he's like holding on and like his hands are in the glass. And it's like, ow, that fucking sucks.
It's like, ow.
It's like, ow.
Well, also we have that great line where Arnold says to the devil, he's like, you're a fucking choir boy compared to me.
Oh, yeah. You didn't say that to Satan, bro?
Yeah.
This whole scene is just like...
King of the fucking underworld?
It is... Yeah, it's Arnold getting like his ass handed to him emotionally. But you would think like he would step down. Like he literally witnesses like the memory of his daughter and wife being gunned down, and he's still just like, no, fuck you. It's like he's having just like a bar fight.
Yeah.
And then he throws the devil out the window.
Yeah, I can't believe that the devil fell for that. He's like,
it's like the oldest trick
okay,
in the book.
Help me up. I'll be with you. You can help me out. Like Hussein like goes out of his way to like reach farther.
Yeah, to get like he's like, well, no, my hand's over here. He's like, can you just closer? No, you gotta come and get it.
Oh God. And so he throws him out the window, and then he gets a knock on the door, and this is where Kevin Pollak comes back, and you're like, wait a second. Is he a bad guy? Can we trust him? And he says that like he got away at the last second before the van blew up and all this stuff. And you're like, okay. And Arnold trusts him because they're buddies.
Dumbass.
Which you kind of get to see. Like, I almost wish they would have went a little deeper with their relationship, because he trusts them really quickly. And then even later at the end when they're staring each other down, and he's like, Arnold, like basically Arnold has like faith in his friend to be like, you're not going to shoot me because we're such good friends in this. And even though you made a deal with the devil, like you like me better. But I kind of wish there was like a little bit meatier relationship between them besides Kevin Pollak just being his comic relief.
Like Jeff Daniels and Keanu Reeves in Speed, where like he kind of helps him. It's like the partner thing, where like I saved your life now, just to like kind of instill that trust to tell the audience like he'll die for him if necessary. Right. So then to turn the tables. Yeah.
Because there wasn't anything like that. They just had like funny moments together. And
Yeah. They tried to establish it, but Kevin Pollak just kept doing like bits, and they're like, we don't have any more film. Just we got
out of film.
Yeah.
And then we get to the church, because he tells...
We're back in a lot of church in this movie.
We're back a lot of church. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But they're back in the church, and he tells Bobby where to meet him to get the girl. And in our 8th reveal, Satan enters the church. Oh, no, wait, hold on a second. The other priests come in and then they're like, "Oh, we're here to help you." And then they're like, "Actually, we're here to kill Christine." And actually, psych. Actually, our fingers were crossed this whole time. And
it's the oldest. Everyone's falling for the oldest tricks in the book.
Yeah. Because she notices like that symbol with like the heart and the dagger through it or something.
Mm-hmm. Sacred heart.
Sacred. That's what it's called, the Sacred Heart.
Mm-hmm.
She notices that and she's like, "Wait a second. They're the ones who tried to kill me before." And they're like, "Surprise, we're going to do it again." And so there's a whole scuffle. And Jericho comes back and shoots the dagger out of the dude's hand. And then he's like, "Christine, you're coming with me because I have a gun." And they leave. Satan enters in our 8th reveal. And they're like, "You can't be in a church." And he's like, "Well, actually, I will withstand this pain to kill you guys because it doesn't hurt that bad." And he kills. It's funny to me that the devil in this movie kills everyone that isn't essential to the plot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he kills all those priests except Father Kovac, which we see later. And then
all the union actors survive.
Yeah. And like he totally should have killed if this was like legit happening, he totally would have killed Arnold in the alley after the mob beats him up. But he's like, I'm going to string him up and he'll probably get out. But
a lot of movies, though. A lot of things could be saved if people would have just murdered somebody when they had the opportunity.
Oh, sure. It'd be one of those things where it's like, it kills him, then it's like the end.
I'm just going to close the door and assume that everything goes according to plan. What?
Yeah.
Austin Powers, remember Scotty, Dr. Evil's going to kill Austin. I have a gun in my room. We can just shoot him. It's so stupid.
But yeah, the mob beats up Jericho. We find out that Bobby is not to be trusted. He is working for Satan, and he takes the girl.
I have a question. I looked away maybe for 2 seconds. How did he get away? Because he does get crucified.
He gets like not like fully crucified. He gets like in the position of a crucified person.
So he assumes position of a crucifixion.
He assumes the position of a crucifixion.
Assume the crucifixion position.
Well, this plays back into my thing with the devil not killing people who are essential to the plot, because Father Kovac was in that scene where the devil comes in and kills all the priests, but he doesn't get killed.
That's right. That's what was confusing me, because I was like, I thought we were getting somewhere like an explanation, but I guess
because Father Kovac comes out in the back alley and sees him strung up, and he takes him down, and they take him down into their little basement thing and let him sleep for like the world's about to end, and they just let him sleep for like fucking a day and a half. They're like, "You just been sleeping. We just been waiting for you to wake up. Hopefully you get up in time."
Before we go to and meet the cult and everything, they do one quick little cutaway back to the Pope in Rome. And one thing I was surprised, I thought we were going to get a twist that the Pope was evil, and that was why he didn't want to kill Christine as a baby.
The Pope is evil.
Yeah.
But like in the context of the movie, like they just kind of show him as like almost like borderline like deity. Like he's just sort of, I know all, ask me the most obvious question, I'll give you the most obvious answer.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed that didn't go anywhere.
Well, because that's just how it is, right? Everyone looks at whatever the fucking Pope says, everyone beneath him is like.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like we go out of our way to revisit him again.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we're going to find out that like the Catholic Church is satanic and that. No. Right. But that's okay. That was just me overthinking.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's when he says like, we've failed. Like, they have him. And he says, we have to have faith, like even in our darkest hour. Mm-hmm. But the Pope looks the same 20 years later.
Oh yeah. Like, he's either aged so poorly
in the first part of his life.
Yeah. So like there's he can't go any farther.
Yeah.
Maybe he sold his soul. Maybe he is bad.
Ooh.
He's like, you'll be young forever, but like young in the context of like the universe. You're still an old. I'm not gonna make you younger. You're just gonna be that.
Yeah, you're still gonna look like a raisin.
You're gonna look like you look.
Yeah, that's why he's like the guy's like, Satan got her, and he's like, well, you know what? We still have to have faith. Don't stop all your efforts. We'll just have faith.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Oops, it didn't work.
Did you buy champagne? It's New Year's Eve tomorrow. I just want to make sure we're at least prepared for that.
Yeah, so now it's our 9th reveal, this ritual. Satan is about to birth his baby.
Well, I think there's gonna be the conception.
They're gonna fuck?
Yeah, in other words.
In front of like a group of people.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem
Satanists. It makes sense.
Rituals.
Yeah,
Satan
they're
meets
all
the
cucks
Satanists.
too, right?
Yeah. Everyone's a cuck.
Yeah,
I
but
guess just
well,
watching somebody have sex doesn't make you a cuck.
That's
Yeah,
true.
sure.
But I feel like they want to fuck Satan. Like, if given the opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that a big part of it is like people want to see Satan fuck. I mean, that's the event of a lifetime. I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd watch him.
Casey's
But,
like,
like,
damn, this is crazy.
Isn't that just like watching
Yeah.
porn? Like watching porn.
No, porn doesn't have Satan.
Zach, maybe we love porn. What are you saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Porn doesn't have the real Satan.
I thought like
That's what
All right.
the Catholic Church thinks.
the cuck.
Or are you talking about a cuck?
A cuck. That's what I'm talking about. That
No,
fucking,
no.
number
Well,
one,
no.
I hate that word.
Technically,
I know. Can we say cug? Cug is so much softer and cuter.
technically, a cuck is a man that like wants to watch his wife.
Yeah.
It can also be
Yeah.
a man wanting to watch his man. You can be a gay cug.
Yeah. A man wanting to watch his significant other.
Yeah.
Or I guess anybody wanting to watch
Yeah,
their
I guess because
significant
you
other.
could also be anyone watching your significant other do the penetration or be penetrated.
A cuck is specifically a man.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it is
What's the girl version called?
Let's find out. Google
a cluck.
A cluck?
female version of a cuck.
Images only, please.
A cack.
A cat. Cat.
A cuckween.
A cuck queen
queen?
or a cuckween?
Aquinas? Thomas Aquinas is a female cuck. He's been through it all.
It's spelled Quean, so I don't know if it's queen or queen.
Quant.
Let me see.
Quant.
Cuckwan?
Quant.
I must be a cuckwin because I get so wet watching my man satisfying a dirty girl.
That's what it says.
That's the example.
Oh, okay. So things we've learned recently. Thomas, I'm going to call him Thomas Aquarius, is a cuckween. A cuck queen. A cuck.
No, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
I'm a cuckween from the land of cuck.
What else did we learn?
Cucks are specifically male.
Well,
Mhm.
so here's the thing. I guess technically a cuckwin, a cuck, I don't know, because technically it's a cuckold, right?
Mm,
Cuck is just short for cuckold. So
yeah.
I guess cuck would also be short for cuckwin, but I don't know.
Dude.
Cuckoldian. From the royal land of Cuckoldrian.
I fucking hate that word.
Why?
Cuck. It's just
Why?
We did
like
fix
Danny
it though.
says.
Just like anything
Yeah.
with a hard k is usually really
Yeah.
like aggressive.
Oh, you don't like Casey? You don't like Zach?
ending on it. If your name was like Casey,
You don't like Zach?
Like Kasich, who's
Zach?
Oh yeah, but that rolls off nicely. That's like a soft
You don't think
It's not
cuck
like,
rolls
ugh.
off nicely?
cook. Maybe it's the
I'm going to
double
call you
cuck.
Zuck from now on.
guys, no. No.
Guys, no.
Zuck the
Stop
cuck.
it. Oh my God.
Zach
I
the
am
cat.
not a cuck. I'm not a
You're a
cuck.
cat.
I'm not a cuck. I'm not a queen.
Zach
a
the cat.
cuckween.
That's like
the cat.
cock.
Oh God. How did this happen?
Oh
Oh God. Thanks, end of days. Okay. So Jericho now has gone back to his security business that he may or may not run, or he may just be a security guard. I don't know. But he gathers up all his Arnold artillery that we normally see. We got guns, we got grenade launchers, we got all this stuff. And he goes to the secret boiler room, which is in like an old theater. He like goes down into the subways and he gets into the theater, and we see this big ritual going down. This is our 9th official reveal. All the worshipers are there watching
All the cucks.
Satan about to impregnate this Christine to make the Antichrist. And CCH Pounder, Marge, she
Marge
tries.
Pounder is a great name.
Yeah, Marge Pounder. That's good. Large Marge Pounder. she has spotted Jericho in the crowd and shit's going down. And then does he shoot a grenade at this point, or he shoots his machine gun in the air or something? I forget how he gets her, how like the crowd scatters and he grabs Christine.
I thought he just shot her. Oh, because you think Marge is going to shoot him and then he shoots her.
Okay. And that scatters everybody. And then he grabs Christine and he puts the gun to her head and he's like, I'll shoot her. And then you can't have your baby. And the devil's like, you're not going to shoot her. But then Bobby comes back out and he's like, this is where he's like, hey, I was on fire. I made a deal. And they have their whole showdown of faith. And Bobby gives up. He doesn't shoot him. But then the devil's like, you know what? Guess we don't have a deal anymore. And he sets him on fire again.
Faith. Interesting.
Their deal went up in flames.
Yeah.
Because he has faith in Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
But not in Jeebus.
Not in Jeebus. Not yet.
No. We're getting
but
there.
He will get there. He will get there eventually. Spoiler alert. But this sets off a whole chase sequence between Satan and Jericho and Christine as they run through the subways. And it's a really cool subway chase. I think this one is in terms of subway chases in movies, I think this is a good one. I think this stands up pretty good. Big
Predator 2 vibes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is funny because Arnold was in the first Predator. So now he probably saw that and was like, I want that.
Like, I want my own subway scene.
I want to be in the subway with the bouncer.
Danny Glover gets everything.
Our second.
They're like, we'll give you Martin Riggs's opening scene from Lethal Weapon, but you don't get you don't get Murtaugh's Predator 2 subway scene.
But he did get it.
Oh, I know. But for the sake of the joke, that wasn't very funny.
Sorry.
I said it.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry I ruined it.
Yeah. Can't believe you ruined that joke, Casey. But this was all done. This was miniatures again. Like the scene, because the subway eventually crashes and blows up and all this stuff. And they filmed a whole miniature scene for this subway, much like Speed. They also did a miniature set for that, which is pretty cool. If you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, all the subway cars, because they had to get them to match, like the subway cars are like down to like the very smallest detail. They're like scaled, like was it 1/8 of a scale or something like that? It's pretty neat how they film these things. And then they had to get like the explosions in the car to like not be. They had to make sure it wasn't bright enough to like blow out the film. So it had to be like, anyways, there's some cool details.
That's cool.
And maybe we'll post some of these behind the scenes videos on social media when this episode is released. But
that's a good idea.
But we get an honorable mention on this in this chase scene where Satan rips out the conductor's heart.
I love that part.
And it's pretty cool. Like we had mentioned earlier where he punches through the doctor's head. This is kind of like another cool thing where he just punches through the guy's chest. And
he's very fisty.
Oh, he's horny.
He's fisting, he's cugging, he's doing it all.
He gets shot a lot, and I think it's neat that we're starting to see like the man's body just like it can't keep up with all the fucking artillery that
it's going through hell
is throwing at it. Yeah, he is. But he blows up and he's in pieces, and you see like his ribs and his legs are off and everything. And then Satan's like, well, can't use this anymore. So he's like, fuck it.
He's like, I think I'm done with this.
So then in our, this is our big climax of the movie. They're in the church and it's like 5 minutes to midnight. Right. And
Arnold has a literal come to Jesus moment.
He does.
He finds faith in Jesus.
This church, actually, they filmed some scenes in the church like with Arnold in it, but it was actually again replicated into a miniature model that was like
very cool.
I say miniature, it was like I think it was like 20 feet high was like the thing. And they had like a cool, like, you know how like the pews kind of like all kind of like almost like a wave of energy is going through the pews.
Very
and
tremor energy.
They go they built these tracks under the miniature with like a little bump in it, so that as it went through, it just like popped up the pews and then they went
It
back
was
down.
such a good effect. I love that.
It was really
little
cool
sequence.
Yeah. And like they had air compressors outside all the stained glass windows. So when they like shot, they like blew out, and then they put it all together. And man, I love movies. I love movies.
Movie magic.
But our 10th reveal, Jericho meets Big Daddy Satan.
Big Daddy.
He kind of throws down his gun and he's like, okay, guns aren't working. This is like, I need to get my faith back. And again, kind of talking like with the relationship between him and Bobby, where I wish there was a little bit more. I kind of wish there was a little bit more to get him to go from
guns to
shooting
Jesus.
And using the guns to being like, okay, Jesus, help me.
Yeah.
I wish there was like one more little bit that kind of just connected him a little bit, but overall it was good.
George Michael's Faith just starts playing on the radio. He takes it as a sign.
No, they could have shown like more things about like him picturing his daughter and his wife or something stupid like that, like thinking about.
Right. Like another
or he
reminder.
like looks up at like a picture, like I don't know, like maybe like stained glass. Like there's like an image that is like, looked like him holding his daughter or something. And it just makes him like make a connection like, oh shit.
Yeah. But we get a cool, like, I like the reveal of the devil when he comes out in his big fucking wings. And he's got like some tentacles that they don't really play into, but you see him a little bit.
A little Cthulhu-ness thrown for good measure.
But it's really like his big wingspan that did it for me. I thought that was really fucking cool. And instead of killing Jericho, he possesses him. And this is our 11th and final reveal.
Yeah, it's one of those like, did it work? Didn't it work? I don't think it worked. Is he fighting it? And they kind of leave you in a little bit of suspense.
Christine doesn't realize that
he does a lot of face acting in this scene.
Oh yeah,
when he's being thrust up on the wall. I was like, Arnold, he's going like true like Total Recall like levels of like physical insanity. It's like
and even like the when he puts Christine on the altar and she's like, what are you doing? You have to fight it. And it's kind of like, I wanted there to be more of a struggle. He's kind of just
goes, run.
He's like,
run. And it's like,
Lord, help me release this demon.
And he throws himself on the statue with the sword, and
I like
all the flames come out. And I really thought, I had seen this a bunch, and like watching it in my head, there was a moment where he lives, right? Where like he kills himself, but then like something happens and he survives. Like I thought that happened, but I guess there was a few endings that were filmed where he did live and they didn't go over well with test audiences. And so
where do you guys stand on it? Do you think he should have lived, or do you like the way his story wraps up?
I like the way how it wraps up. I thought it was different. And I think because I am sad that he dies, like I think that's the way it should have been, because like that, it's more of an emotional impact. Casey, what do you think?
Works for me. I mean, I wish that she would have been impregnated by Satan too, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what if it did just have a really dark ending where like it is end of days? That could have been a cool little twist.
Well, yeah. So that's it, you guys. Wow. Jericho's dead.
Hell yeah.
Our second archangel in a row. In Kronos, we had the little archangel statue.
Oh,
now we've seen it evolve. That's why Guillermo del Toro didn't do this. He's like, I just did an archangel movie.
Just did it. Yeah.
He's like, but I will do another cockroach movie.
Yeah, Jericho's dead. Christine is like, thank you for saving me.
And then she puts on a diaper and goes to Times Square to watch the ball drop.
I forgot people fucking did that.
She's like, I did have these diapers for the baby, but I'm going to just wear them.
Oh my God. Isn't that wild? That like
crazy.
Is it so they didn't have to go use the bathroom?
Yeah, because
people
Times
stand
Square
there
is so packed
that you can't leave.
Yeah, but
so
listen, when I was in high school, I was at a party and I thought that it would be funny for me to wear a diaper. And I wore this diaper at this party and I tried to go to the bathroom in it. But as an adult human being, my body would not let me go to the bathroom in a diaper.
What was this party?
Yeah.
Oh, boo-boo. It was just a regular party. I'm just fucking weird.
Reminds me of Bob's Burgers. She's like, is this a PB party? You guys are fun.
always sober, remember.
That's right. Yeah. You don't drink. So
I love
was
it.
like, did people know you had the diaper on, or was
I
it
was
just
not wearing
like
pants. Yes, people knew I had the diaper
I
on.
see.
okay?
Yeah.
But diapers are
Goodness.
cute. They're very form fitting. They don't make you look weird at all.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I was worried about. My body would not let me go.
That's so funny. And
I'm fucking
a
weird.
little crazy.
I'm so
I love
weird.
Yeah, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that is the end of end of days, and that is also the end of our Season's Creepings triple feature.
Wow.
But we have a few things to do before we wrap up. Number one, we need to pick our favorite reveals in Arnold Schwarzenegger's End of Days.
What's going on here?
I don't see anything anywhere. That's how they get you. They're under the goddamn ground.
Okay, so official reveals only, no honorable mentions. Speed round recap. Here we go.
Let's go.
Number one.
Let's go. Ball's about to drop. 10.
Oh, shit.
We're not doing that.
Get to the reveals.
Get to it.
Number one, he does have like a Predator kind of moment. He's like, instead of like, get to the chopper, he's like, he says something like, get that helicopter down here now.
Yeah, the chopper's over there. We got to get through it. I'm like, that doesn't really roll off the tongue, but no, we'll use it.
The one thing this episode is lacking is I thought there'd be more Arnold impressions. I really did.
Me too.
Thank you. Okay, speed round recap. Here we go. Number one, the devil emerges from the sewer fires. Number two, the man is possessed in the bathroom. 3, Satan meets the doctor, wife, daughter combo and has a thing. Number 4, Satan and Thomas Aquarius, the cuck queen, in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Bobby sees Satan just outside the van before he blows up. Number 6, Jericho and Christine see Satan walk through the front door. 7, Jericho and Satan in the apartment. Number 8, Satan enters the church and kills almost everyone. 9 is the ritual in the boiler room. 10 is Jericho meets Big Daddy Satan. And number 11, Jericho tries to fuck Christine. Sort of.
I'm just going to say right here, movie, too many reveals.
Too many reveals. Yeah.
Too many.
Yeah.
Come on, let's get people all in the same room.
But Thanksgiving had 13 and that wasn't too many.
Yeah.
This just feels like too many.
I guess if it's a slasher, it's kind of a different story.
Yeah. It's like you're the devil.
Probably,
just gather everyone together. Just be like, here I am.
Do what you need to do. Streamline.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your favorite reveals? Danny, what's your favorite reveal?
My favorite's very easy. It's when the devil's pee blows up Kevin Pollak.
Oh, okay.
So anytime I'm going to now think of this movie is going to be that scene probably. When it happened, the whole setup, I was laughing so hard and having so much fun with it. Now, there are more maybe narratively important moments in this movie where the devil is introduced to someone or to us. But this one was just, you see his power, you get a laugh. It's, just a great visual gag. And yeah, that's my choice. I loved it.
Okay. All right. P. Satan.
How about you guys?
Satan uses the toilet, the outside toilet. Satan uses nature's toilet.
Yes.
Casey, what do you got?
You know, the part that I'm always going to think of is when he comes out of the bathroom and grabs that titty. So, my favorite reveal is the bathroom reveal, but mostly for what he does after.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Titty grab. Yep.
Tongue down her throat.
Yeah, she was into it. She was like, she didn't know what was going on, but she was like, okay.
Well, she's probably, but her and her partner, they've probably been together for a while. It's getting a little bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And Gabriel Byrne's a good looking dude. She probably was like, she probably wanted it anyways. And then,
yeah.
I'm stuck between 2 reveals. I love the 10th reveal, Jericho meets Big Daddy Satan. I love the big wingspan and the big coming up in the church, and I just love all that. But I'm also stuck between that and our 7th reveal, Jericho and Satan in the apartment, because I just love that scene. And like, Danny, you think of you say you're going to think of the P scene when you think about this movie. Now, whenever I think of End of Days, I always think of that scene in the apartment with
I thought that was going to be your pick because I know you like that scene.
Yeah. Which I think I will go with that.
Yeah. It's iconic.
It's more, the big daddy Satan at the end is cool, but I think the apartment scene is the best.
You get more nuance in that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yep, that's what I'm going with. Number 7.
Wow, 3 great, very different picks.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are, it's a good range of reveals. But now it's time for a segment that we like to call The Real Monster.
Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man.
You're a monster.
I'm not the monster here. You are. You and the rest of that fairy tale trash poisoning my perfect world. Now tell me, where are the others?
Eat me.
What do you guys got? Casey, you start us off.
Okay, you guys are not going to like this.
Okay.
But I'm just going to be honest.
But we're going to love it.
It's childbirth because it's fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. It's great. You're bringing a baby into the world. Wonderful. It is so gross.
It's gross, like, because of what, like, when a baby comes out and, like, what's on them?
Well, no.
Or just, like, what happens like down there when...
The furthering
all
of
of
humanity.
All of it. I think...
The furthering of humanity is gross.
I mean,
pretty
yes.
gross.
But
hey, Arnold had a baby.
He did. If we ever do, like, a mad scientist triple feature, I truly want to consider Junior.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Because that's an insane movie, like, when you really think about it.
I saw it once when it came. I think I saw it in the theater, but I don't really remember it. But I know it was goofy.
That's so fun.
So yeah, I apologize for my real monster.
Oh no! I mean,
apologize.
That's how you feel. Yeah, I'm sure you're not the only one that feels like that.
No,
you know,
probably not.
Danny, what do you got for real monster?
So mine is when Udo Kier, the high priest, his daughter says, "I can't believe they put finals after the holidays." And I was like, what? I was like, when else would they be? Because you have midterms before the holidays. Okay. Then you go on break. And then the finals aren't for another like 4 or 5 months. So like, what is she mad about?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
That's
she's
it's like a weird argument. Like, I can't believe they're after. It's like, well, yeah, I mean, they're after, but like at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure what school she's going to or... Yeah, because it's New Year's. So it would be she would have just had midterms and then went on break. Okay. So she's nothing to worry about.
So she's not the real monster, though. The school is.
The school.
Oh, yeah. Assuming that she got it right.
Right.
And there are finals. Yeah.
Or maybe she was like talking about midterms, but she was saying finals or like.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, we went to a fucked up school that was like, wasn't.
Yeah,
like,
didn't pay attention to holidays.
Like the schedule wasn't like the same as any other traditional school.
But she specifically says they're after the holidays. Maybe
I don't know.
I don't get
I mean,
it.
they're rich, so she probably went to, I'm assuming, like a fancy school.
Yeah. The only caveat is everything's really fancy and great, but the finals are right after the holidays. It's like, wait, what? So we don't learn, and then you learn everything, and then you're like, everything you learned from the finals will be in the next semester.
Yeah.
Like, wow, being rich is weird.
Oh God. Casey, I love it. Like, that's your real monster. I have 2. I have my first real monster is Jericho's breakfast smoothie. We've got caffeine filled, I'm assuming some kind of coffee, Pepto-Bismol, old Chinese that's been sitting out on the counter, pizza from the floor. I think some beer is poured
Isn't
in
he
there.
about to commit suicide?
Yeah.
That's what he calls
He's
the drink.
obviously not right up there.
Yeah. Like he's got to like go like transport this guy, which they are transporting Gabriel Byrne's character. Like that's the guy who they're
Can you imagine though a smoothie with that in it? Oh god,
but he's like about to shit himself as like.
Hey, but the Pepto will help. I take Pepto.
That's true.
It's so funny. Every time we go out to eat, Cody's like, "Do you need Pepto?" I was like, "Yes, please."
Aww.
he has like a stash for me in his little. He has
a
this
little
like
IBS buddy,
cute little fanny pack thing,
Uh-huh.
and it's just stored. It's mostly just medicine for me.
But my second real monster is Rudy Giuliani.
Mm.
They mention him in one of the DJ, like,
did they?
Yeah, as they're like flying over the city and they're counting down to the new year, and the radio DJ guy says that like Mayor Giuliani is like urging everyone to stay calm during this time of the year, and I'm like, dude, talk about a decline in your fucking career to going from like America's mayor after September 11th to being like
America's cuck.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Truly.
Did you see him in Borat?
Oh,
I did. Yeah.
My
or was
God.
it
Borat
Bruno?
2.
Oh, Borat 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How did that not completely destroy his career? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude,
we're gonna go down
it's a whole other thing.
Just being so frustrated.
That's a whole other thing. But yeah, Rudy Giuliani is my real monster, along with Jericho's breakfast smoothie.
Okay. Perfect.
So, okay. So now for our last and final segment, would you survive the end of days?
And here we go.
I would sell my soul to the devil in a moment.
Okay. In the moment. Got it.
So you would survive.
Yeah, 100%.
If I had Arnold protecting me, yes.
Okay.
But otherwise,
are you the one that's supposed to have Satan's baby? Because otherwise you don't.
I guess I would just be
Satan
like
trying to fuck you and Arnold's protecting you.
Yeah.
What if when Arnold was possessed by Satan and then Arnold was trying to fuck you? Would you be like, no, stop? Or would you be like, okay, fine?
Yeah, I'd be like, okay. I mean, like, we got this far. Take me, daddy.
No, stop, or okay, fine.
Okay.
I'm like, God, this is so crazy.
No, stop.
Are we doing this?
Oh, Arnold. I don't know. I guess it depends on who I am in this scenario, on if I would survive or not. Yeah, I wouldn't want to sell my soul, because then you're just like, you're tortured forever, I guess.
You're
right?
tortured forever anyway.
Yeah, but at least there's an end to it. Like, you're tortured, but there's an end. But if
this conversation, at least it ends. At least we die in the end. It's just depressing.
Yeah, but if that, but okay, but here's the thing. So yes, at some point it dies, right? But if all of this is real and heaven and hell are real, you don't believe in God and Jesus, so you're going to go to hell.
Mm.
Oh wait.
So are you sure that you don't want to go to hell being Satan's crony? I'd rather be in hell as Satan's crony.
I see what you're saying.
All right, but assuming the events play out in reality as they do in the movie, and the way that Arnold has his, like, he renews his faith, I have to say, like, if I was like, if it came down to, it was proven for a fact that there is such a thing, and that, the traditional, example of what heaven is being like the almighty, like, good versus bad, I would want to go to the good side just for, be a little comfortable.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would be that black and white. I would just know that I would be like, yeah, I'll go with this guy. He's going to keep me alive.
Yeah. Yeah. If it wasn't as black and white, then yeah, like, I'm purely basing it off of the reality of, like, the story world in End of Days.
Yeah, I guess if I was in Bobby's situation where he was on fire and the dude was like, you want to make a deal? I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Would you, all right, if you were Bobby in that scene and your BFF Arnold was like, I'm trying to save the world and you're fucking it up, would you allow yourself to be lit on fire to do the right thing? Is like your final moment on Earth.
No.
Oh, see.
God, that'd be tough.
Oh,
that's tough. Yeah. Dang.
End of the world forever, or you burn to death. Which I feel like would not be fun, but I do think it would go pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, if it was like me or destroying the world, I would be like, okay, light me up.
You also know, so you're going to go into heaven like noble, but you will kind of faint, like ghosts, like in Beetlejuice, how like when you die, like there's like, that is very much like remnants of like how you died. Like you see it for the rest of your life. You're just going to smell like the devil's pee for eternity. So like you're not gonna like
you go up to like heaven, it's like the pearly gates and there's clouds everywhere, right? And you like walk up and like, but you're burnt to a crisp and you stink and everyone like walks by you and they're like, oh god, like plugging their nose and walking away.
I want a candle scent called Satan's piss.
It's
just a picture of Kevin Pollak
on fire.
That's a t-shirt.
Oh my god. You get up to the pearly gates and it's like fucking everyone's smelling you and God's like, you're like waiting to go in because you like think you sacrificed yourself and God's like, well, I mean, you did technically make a deal with the devil.
Yeah,
and he's like, but I took it back. And he's like, well, I don't know. Let me check the rule book.
You didn't have time to go to confession and tell the priest what you did. So
he's finding every loophole he can. He's like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. We kind of wished you made a different choice.
Yeah. We can't let you bring that smell in here.
Yeah, you're kind of fucking up the vibe. Like, what can we do to convince you to go back to hell?
Yeah.
Can we like set you up? Can we do like a severance package of some sorts?
Oh God. Okay. That's it, you guys. That's End of Days. That's our Season's Creepings triple feature. It is all wrapped up. We are about to start a brand new year. 2025 is right around the corner. And we're also going to start the new year with a brand new triple feature.
Yeah.
Casey, this is your pick.
It is.
Do you want to tell us what the triple feature is called?
All right. So our new triple feature is High Octane Kills, and it's all going to be action horror movies.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Action horror, which this one could have fit into that as well. So it's kind of nice leading into this because this was a nice New Year's pick. But leading into our High Octane Kills triple feature, we're kicking it off with John Carpenter's Ghosts of Mars. And I cannot wait to watch this again. Definitely not his best movie, but it's a lot of fun. You get Ice Cube, Jason Statham, Pam Grier,
what a cast.
Natasha Henstridge. I don't even know. I don't know what happened to her, but but this will be a fun one to watch. And then Casey, for our next pick in High Octane Kills, it's your pick. What are we watching?
Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I've always been slightly intrigued, but I'm excited to check it out.
It's just a lot of fun.
Just a lot of fun.
It is.
Okay.
That's fun.
And
as
Danny, what do you
horror
got?
should be.
Mm-hmm.
My choice is we're bringing back the Return of the Schwartz. We're doing the Terminator.
The Terminator. Wow. I don't know what's happening on this show, but we've got a lot of Arnold going on.
Yeah. A lot of Arnold.
He might be our most, like at this point, we've done 3 Arnold movies. Have we done anything else with 3 of the same?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
None that I can think of, none that are as like memorable as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. But the Terminator, that'll be a good one. And it's Terminator 1, correct?
Yes.
The Reason I'm Afraid of AI.
The Terminator, which just celebrated its 40th anniversary last year, I think.
Oh,
so I think we were thinking we were going to do High Octane Kills earlier until we realized we should probably do a holiday triple feature. So
do some fun holiday movies.
Getting close. Yeah, we were going to do a 40th anniversary celebration, but this counts,
Oh,
it still works.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to talk about the Terminator because those are good movies. So that'll be cool. Check that out in the new year. If you want to talk more about End of Days, find us on all the social media platforms. We are no longer on X, but we are on Blue Sky. And also in just a couple weeks here, we will be launching our How I Met Your Monster Patreon. So you can come check out some cool bonus features. We'll do some commentaries and you'll have access to our first 50 episodes and we'll do some cool shout outs and things like that. So look for our Patreon coming at the beginning of January for the new year.
Excited.
Until that time comes, if our listeners want to find you two on social media, where can they find you?
I am on Instagram at WolfMotherCasey.
Okay, awesome. Danny?
You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at my name, Danny Salem. That's DANNYSALEMME. 2 M's like the candy. Melt in your butt, not in your hands.
Wonderful. And you can find me on various social media platforms at Zach Winsick. That's it, guys. Thanks for joining. Have a good New Year's, and enjoy the rest of these holiday days.
Should we count down for the ball to drop?
Yeah, we can end on a Happy New Year.
So 10,
9, 8, 7, 6,
okay.
6.
You guys are out of time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Why did Danny wait so long during his counts?
I don't know.
God, we are not good at ringing in New Year's.
All right. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Now go meet some monsters.